I am so excited to talk about our educational programming. And one of the highlights of our educational programming is what we have as our Student World Affairs Council. I am Felicia Chapman, the Senior International Education Manager, who is in charge of really just helping with our teachers and our students and our SWAC programs. And our Student World Affairs Council programs provide opportunities for high school students to engage at a local as well as a global level by competing in trivia, meeting internationally acclaimed speakers like Condoleezza Rice, General Jim Mattis, and so forth, and preparing for future careers. So with the students being able to join our SWAC programs, they receive certificates, polos, and they also receive some council scholarships. And so this is a really great way for students to be engaged in learning, because one of our greatest missions with our EDU program is to shape the students of Greater Houston today into the global leaders of tomorrow. And so we do this by making sure that they are able to get a little bit of behind the scenes with a lot of our speakers and time with them as well. And so on the call today, I have Alice Davidson. She is a teacher at Episcopal High School. And so I'm happy just to hear about her. She is one of the most hardworking teachers that I know, and we're just so glad to have her. And I wanted to hear a little bit about her as a teacher. How has the World Affairs Council benefited her as a teacher, as well as some of the feedback that she has enjoyed by being one of the sponsors for our Student World Affairs Council chapters at Episcopal High School. So hi, Alice. Can you tell us a little bit more about you as a teacher as well as your students?
Hi, Felicia. Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. I've been attending World Affairs Council teacher seminars for probably 7 or 8 years now. They're Saturday morning seminars, well, Saturday all day seminars, and usually focusing on a country and bringing in all sorts of experts from all over the United States to speak about information on that country or whatever topic. It has really been enlightening for me and helps me a lot with my teachings because it gives me incredible background knowledge. Another wonderful part of the council, I went to a day-long seminar on Turkey, and then I was able to apply, and I was actually chosen to be one of a small group of teachers who was able to travel to Turkey at almost no expense to myself. The Turkish Cultural Foundation, in coordination with the World Affairs Council, allowed me to go, and I spent an incredible time, 2 weeks, learning everything about Turkey. So that was really important for my own background, so that when I'm teaching now, I can bring up all of these things that I have personally experienced, and it really helps and changes the way I teach when I have been there myself or when I have personal experience of it. My students and I attend a majority of the World Affairs Council events on the weekday evenings. Whenever there's a topic being presented, I put it out to my students and see how many can get themselves there and how many are interested in the topic. And I've had as many as 45. And I've had as few as 3. But we show up at just about everything. And the students are interested in various topics. I have several students who are interested in pre-med, and they show up at everything that involves any kind of medicine whatsoever. I have a majority of my students interested in international politics or international business. And they want to hear what anybody has to say about particular areas of, of their own interest. They go to the meeting. I encourage them all to take notes during the meeting, and they turn the notes, copies of the notes, into me. So I know that they're really listening and they're really paying attention, and they love it. It's become the largest club at Episcopal High School. We have a student population of about 770 students, and I have 130 students in my World Affairs Club.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
it's
really
the
amazing.
biggest club on campus. You know?
Yeah.
And they love it. We have meetings at campus also. we don't just go to the World Affairs events. Some of the students organize a topic, sometimes with the help of the World Affairs Council SWAC monthly topic. Sometimes they'll use that as a background, and sometimes they just have something on their mind they want to talk about. They'll call a meeting, and at that point 30 or 40 students will show up when it's on campus, and it kind of is a rotating group of kids. If they're in sports, they can't come for a few months, they'll start to come at a different time. So it's really nice. We get kids coming in all the time, and right now with all this self-distancing, they are very active in going to the online lectures.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. We do have the online webinars coming every week. We have multiple, we have a live one, and we also have pre-recorded webinars and podcasts. So go to our website, which has all of these educational materials, and subscribe to our channel so you can be up to date. Like Alice, as students, they are very active, and we were so happy to have them last week with General McChrystal. So thank you so much for supporting us.
You're welcome. They really love it. They really love it. And I do too. I like to see that they're interested.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Alice. Just as Alice said, she has one of the largest, active SWAC chapters that we have in the greater Houston area. And so we have smaller chapters that might be 4 students, and then we have larger chapters that are over 100 kids. It doesn't necessarily matter how big or how small. It's just how willing you are and how engaged you are to learn more about the global community, since Houston is such a diverse city. And it's really nice to have those students. And so just kind of moving along, one of the things we also wanted to highlight coming up this summer, we're so excited to have our Global Scholars Academy. And so my colleague Sandia, she will also be joining us as we do just a little Q&A session to learn more about one of our newest EDU programs that we're so excited to offer, not only but to middle school as well as high school. So hello, Sandia.
Good morning.
Good morning. Could you just introduce yourself really quickly, and then we'll transition?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Davidson. Thank you, Felicia. Thanks for the invitation to join. And I am Director of Development at the World Affairs Council. Have been there for almost 10 years. And as they say, I'm not only a colleague, but I'm also a mom of a 16-year-old. Yeah. So I'm just as thrilled as my 16-year-old son attends events here with the chapter in the Woodlands. He volunteers with us, and now he's so thrilled, and me too, to be part of this first ever academy that the council has put forward, and a fantastic opportunity for students high school age and a little bit younger to participate. So we want to go ahead and chat more about it.
Yeah. Thank you. And so we'll go ahead and just get started. And Alice, I believe you had a question or some questions that you wanted to ask.
Well, to start with, I wonder if you could describe for us, what is the World Affairs Council of Greater Houston Global Scholars Academy? I mean, exactly what is that?
Okay. So our Global Scholars Academy is just a non-bipartisan, profit, and we provide the opportunity for middle school students as well as high school students to develop their interest and demonstrate expertise and understanding of different world cultures and important international issues. So some of our curriculum is heavily globally focused on just international business, international affairs, international security. So the students will have an array of coursework, projects, extracurricular activity, and also visits that will help kind of supplement and have them a deeper learning of whatever they're learning in the classroom. So that gives you just a little bit of the insight of the Global Scholars Academy.
And when they complete the academy, what will they get? Is there a certificate or something that the students will receive?
Yeah, so upon completion, they will receive a certificate. They will receive a number of certificate, some hours of volunteer service that they can use for their Student World Affairs Council chapters, or with their own school projects as well, plus just invaluable knowledge and networking opportunities from field experts in foreign affairs and international business. One of the key things that we have is the opportunity to have international career panelists come and speak to the students just about various things, such as being in the FBI, or what does it mean to work for the Federal Reserve Bank. And these are key roles that students get behind the scenes, and they're able to really engage and just ask those questions in a very intimate setting with a small cohort.
Felicia, now that we know what it is and what happens at the end, some logistics questions, as you know, very parents probably will join. And one of my first ones that comes to mind: where can I pick up, or where can I drop off my son?
Great question. So each Academy participant may be dropped off at the World Affairs Council offices. So that's 2500 East TC Jester Boulevard, Suite 350. So you'll be able to come in and check your students in and drop them off no earlier than 8:30 a.m. and pick them up no later than 6 p.m. from the same location. So please plan accordingly, because the wonderful thing is the Academy session is all day long. So that's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That gives parents a time to know that their students is heavily engaged. They're also doing field lessons and field trips that will make it a very exciting summer program for their students. And
that's great. And that's really aligns well for work schedule of parents, right? So that's really great to know. Can you tell me a little bit more, what are the requirements for admission?
Okay, so our application is live now. So if you do not know, you can send this and share this with friends, family, any student that you know who would be really interested in learning more. And we have the online application and just 2 essays. They're very short essays. And if possible, if you want a letter of recommendation just from, this can be a teacher or some academic advisor at your school, and all of these materials must be submitted before your application is reviewed. So once you have your application, your essays, and a recommendation, if you're able to receive that, then you can submit all of those materials, and then we'll review your application, and that's all.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Alicia, I know it's in the summer, but some of my students will be going to summer camp or be taking a summer school class. So when in the summer is it?
Okay, so the awesome thing is that this is in the second half of the summer. So this kind of, if parents were looking for something of like, I have the first part of the summer or I have the middle part of the summer covered, but what about the end? So we have 4 different sessions and 4 different opportunities for people to come. So for grades 9 through 12, we have our first session, which is July 6th through July 10th. And then our second session is for grades 7 through 8, and that's July 13th through July 17th. And then we also have our third session, which is for grades 9 through 12, July 20th through the 24th, and grades 7 through 8, July 27th through the 31st. So there's many opportunities for parents to register their students in our programming throughout the second half of the summer. So you can still get in your vacation and still have fun at all in one summer.
You mentioned that the application was online already, but then you also said that there were some essays and perhaps a letter of recommendation. How does my students send those in? I mean, do they send them by email or regular mail or what?
So you can submit supplemental items, so your letters of recommendation. This can all be included within your application packet, and you can submit those by email to edu@wachouston.org. Or you can mail it in, of course, to our mailbox. But please, if you do send in your application and you mail it into our offices, that you allow 7 to 10 business days, which will just give us some time to process your application materials to make sure that we received everything. So you can do it by email or you can mail in your application, but make sure that you have everything included in one email, in one mailing packet.
I know you said that there were junior high sessions as well as senior high sessions.
Yes.
But are there specific classes that students should have already taken so that they would have a background, or, you know, like a world history or a government class or something?
No, actually, I think that's a really great question, but we see all different applicants from different backgrounds and demographics, and every major discipline represented. So applicants are just encouraged to have an interest in global affairs. And so what global affairs is just this overarching umbrella for economics, political science, history, sociology, international business, anthropology, philosophy, and so many other things. But just have a willingness and an openness to explore what that is. And even if you don't quite know, this would be a great opportunity to open you up to what global affairs and international business is.
Well, that's fantastic. That's really sounds really exciting. I think I'm just as excited as my son is to explore and join. Can you help me a little bit understand any tuition scholarship opportunities? Are there any circumstances where Academy's fee might be considered or waived?
Yeah. So to apply to the Academy is free. So you can go right now again to wachouston.org. So wachouston.org to apply to the Academy is free. However, there is a $499 tuition fee that is due upon the acceptance. So what that tuition fee covers is all of the curriculum, lesson materials, project mentorship, lunch, transportation, admission fees into field trip sites, and other fees associated with this week-long programming. And so that's the all over encompassing. So when you drop your kid off with us for the summer long program, you can know that they will be fed, they will receive great networking opportunities, and just have a really great time. And you don't have to, we'll take care of the rest with our teachers and our mentors that we have set up that are coming. And then for scholarships, there are scholarships that are available. And so the World Affairs Council is so happy to be able to have the opportunity to provide scholarships. So each applicant will automatically be considered for all available scholarships upon completion of their Academy application. So you don't have to worry about submitting an extra essay or what else do I need to do, because you already you will automatically be considered for any scholarship opportunity that we do have. So if you're thinking like, maybe I can't afford this, or maybe I don't know whether or not, I can pay the full payment, I would say, just apply, because applying is free. You never know. And so we would be excited to have as many students as we can into our Global Scholars Academy program. And I know that, as Sandia said, her son is very active. And so we're hoping that, we have more applicants, great applicants like her son who are able, and also like we have some Episcopal high school students applying. So we're just excited overall to have so many different students apply to our programming. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I think that from my side, all my bases are covered.
Yeah.
Mine too. I'm very excited about it. I can't wait to tell my students about it.
Yeah. So thank you so much again, just for your time, for learning a little bit more about our Student World Affairs Council programs, as well as our Global Scholars Academy program. Again, the application is available today and it's free. So we're so excited. Thank you again, Alice, for joining us. Thank you again, Sandia, for joining us as well. And do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you will be able to receive live our pre-recorded recordings, as well as from past and future guest speakers who we will be having. And so don't forget to be able to come tomorrow, where we will have Dr. Peter Hotez. So that should be very fun for students to be engaged with him and ask questions. And so we're just so excited. So stay tuned for more, and thank you all. Bye-bye.